yellow frog eyes of the Mercedes there. Schumacher goes straight past Moretti. Moretti, a very experienced driver. He's an American-Italian. 43 laps to go, and he has just broken his own lap record, which he set last year. Michael Schumacher, the most wanted man in Formula One. He's driving now for the Benetton team. He raced once for Jordan, 3 times for Benetton, and every time he has finished in the points. This man is surely going to be world champion in the not too distant future. And when we say world champion, we're talking about Formula One. And look, here comes the rain. Down comes the rain. Wind and rain's been threatening all afternoon, and those umbrellas are out now. There is the gap between the number 2 Peugeot and the number 6, second place Peugeot and the third place Mercedes. Schumacher closing on them. Through goes Maribaldi. Carl Wendlinger in the pits, getting kitted up, ready to return to the fray. Still not at all well, but he's going to go and do his stint, he says. And in comes Michael Schumacher. It's on lap 60, handing over the car. Mercedes crew jump on it. Wendlinger opens the door to have a talk with Schumacher. Is he going to get in or not? No, he's not. He's not getting in. Schumacher said, don't worry, I'll carry on, I can do it. I think Wendlinger looks like a very relieved man, maybe disappointed he's not going to be out there on the track again, but perhaps relieved for his health. Michael Schumacher charges straight back out again. Very good stop there. Bernd Schneider hands over to John Winter. John Winter achieved great fame by winning Le Mans in 1985 with Joest. He used the nom de plume John Winter because his mother didn't like him racing. He won Le Mans and his face was on the front of every newspaper in Europe. Of course, she saw what happened. He had to confess to her, but he likes the name, he likes the English, he says, and he's kept that name. John Winter in the number 14 Porsche there, the Joest Porsche, filling in. And in come Peugeot. The rain is starting to come down, we're told. And in comes Maribaldi. Are they going to change to wets? Yes. Dry slicks are coming off, wet tyres are going on. And out goes Maribaldi. The rain has started the vengeance now. It's one of these circuits where it can be raining one side of the circuit, dry on the other, but we can assure you this side of the circuit is the wet one. Look at that, there's the rain coming down. Maribaldi, the first car onto wets, and there he goes tiptoeing through that bottom corner, the corner that caught everyone out last year, 10 laps before the end. Down comes the rain, up go the umbrellas, and in comes everyone. Absolute chaos as everyone's going to come in for tyres. Michael Schumacher only just back into the race and back in immediately again. But no, he's got a problem and the car's pushed backwards. They have a problem. We're told the oil pressure's gone. What a disaster. Michael Schumacher, who's driven brilliantly this afternoon, he and Carl Wendlinger out of the race. What a cruel piece of luck. They thought they're on top of the engine problem today. Oil pressure, says Schumacher. Disappointed man. Ha! Hey, he says, same in any language. But here comes the rain. Derek Warwick there asking for the last dance. What a shambles, what chaos. In comes everybody for wet tyres, and that first corner has done exactly what it did last year. It caught out everybody who's on slicks, and there they went. You saw the Jaguar, the Ockenmass Mercedes, the Mazda, the Euro Racing Spice, and Bernd Schneider there, now back in the car, the number 14 car. Yannick Dalmas there, picking his way through the gloom. Peugeot is the first car to go onto wet tyres, but even so, look at that, slipping and sliding all over the place. And into the pits comes Derek Warwick. He's made it back after that double pirouette, once on the grass, once he got back on the track. He's onto wet tyres. But Keke Rosberg now back in the car, and they're all told to put lights on. Rosberg's back in the number 6 car. Yellow caution lights flashing to tell everyone how dangerous it is. Keke Rosberg, the Flying Finn, 42 years old, Formula One world champion in 1982. And he's been enjoying his sports car racing the last 2 years. He raced Porsches in the mid-80s. He joined Peugeot last year. He raced with them at Montreal and Mexico City here. So he is familiar with this car on this circuit. What a superb afternoon for Peugeot, leading the 7th round of the World Sports Car Championship. They've won 2 races this year. Can they make it a 3rd this afternoon here in the rain at Mexico City? 21 million people in this city. Not all of them, I hasten to add, in the park this afternoon to watch this race, but there is a good crowd. And there is the race order. Rosberg, as we confirmed, leading after 66 laps from Baldi and Alliot in the 5 Peugeot, and Derek Warwick, who is now on a charge in the number 3 Silk Cut Jaguar, 53 seconds behind the pair of them. Kurt Euser in the Spice. And there's Schumacher's car being pushed into the pits. It's finished for the afternoon, as we heard him saying earlier. And look at the weather now. Down comes the rain with a vengeance. Bernd Schneider in the number 14 Porsche there, just leading. Who is it? We can't quite see. It's one of the Courages. It's number 13, which is Pascal Fabre. And the 2 Porsches running together. Derek Bell, the grand old man of motor racing, as you heard, 49 years old, soon going to be 40 plus 10. Bernd Schneider chasing him through the Peraltada. What a good afternoon for Jost Porsche. They took a gamble on the atmosphere this afternoon, this high altitude atmosphere, and it's working. They are right up in the order. They're both in the top 6 at the moment. About to gobble up Pierre Dieudonné in the Mazda there. Schneider goes through, Derek Bell follows him. Derek playing the caution. And there is number 5, it's Philippe Alliot. He's on intermediate tyres, and this is the price he's going to pay. He is spinning the Peugeot. He's already lost the lead after slow pit stop. Now he spins the car. He's going to pirouette it back into the race. Please rejoin us back in Mexico City after the break. Mexico City round of the World Sports Car Championship, where this man, Keke Rosberg, is leading the race in the most appalling conditions imaginable. The circuit is daunting and fast at the best of times, but in these conditions, on a slippery track, oil, not the best of surfaces, very bumpy. He has pushed the Peugeot out ahead. And there is the surviving Mercedes, the number 1 car of Schlesser, with Derek Warwick going all round him, climbing all over him. Mercedes a lap down on Warwick. Warwick goes through, slipping and sliding that Jaguar on its wet tyres. We saw Philippe Alliot spin just a couple of laps ago on his intermediates. I'm sure he'll be in the pits for wets. Everyone else is on full wets at the moment, including, there's Alliot, including Warwick and Schlesser. What a superb drive by Derek Warwick. Just about to split the Peugeots. Catching Alliot hand over fist now. There he is right behind him. 7.4 seconds between these 2 cars. Philippe Alliot up against it on intermediate tyres, and look at the crowd. They are well wrapped up now. Alliot, it comes in. He's going to change from his intermediates onto full wets to join everybody else in the race. Intermediate tyres, which really work their best when it's starting to dry out or it's just light drizzle, but this is seriously heavy rain. 2,000 meters up on the Mexican highlands. Mexico City built on this lake site where the Incas used to have their fortresses till the Spanish conquistadores came along and kicked them out. All the kicking this afternoon is being done by Peugeot, but Derek Warwick at the moment is splitting them. He has moved into second place with that stop of Alio. Keke Rosberg leading for Peugeot in the number 6 car. This man third, and there's confirmation. Peugeot, Jaguar, Peugeot, Mercedes, Porsche. And all that Jaguar have to do this afternoon is finish in the top 6 to be assured of that World Championship for the 3rd time, the World Championship for teams. Here goes Derek Warwick. He is on a flyer. Fastest man on the track. And Franz Conrad spins the Conrad Lamborghini out there. They've had some starter motor problems. The car has stalled. He can't get it going again. That starter motor must be jammed. They've had problems of it all weekend. And yes, he's abandoning ship, and at the moment it is a ship. Right in the middle of this very, very wet river they call the race circuit. Derek Warwick charging like only Derek Warwick can. When this man gets the bit between his teeth, off he goes. And there's Jaguar watching the gap coming down. It's going to be tumbling. Jaguar 200 miles an hour in the dry, not quite the same at the moment. I wouldn't risk it. And there's the gap, 15.3 seconds, slipping and sliding through that first turn. I'm sure it's going through Derek's mind every time he's gone through that corner for the last 10 laps. What happened when he arrived there on slicks, and the Jaguar crew getting ready to hang out the boards. Every lap that's coming down, it's down to 11.6 seconds, and he's definitely closing now on Alio. On Rosberg, I should say. Sorry, on race leader Rosberg. He's got Alio behind him. Could Jaguar pull off a famous victory? The TWR crew certainly think he can. He think he's got a good chance. And the gap is now down to 8.6 seconds. It's tumbling every single lap. Can he do it in the time remaining? There's only 10, 12 laps left. Derek Warwick on one of his flyers in the wet, and there is the Mercedes of Jean-Louis Schlesser, Jochen Mass. It's out of the race, I'm sure. The crew of mechanics, the marshals are pushing it down to that first corner, and it's got water in the electrics, we're told, but no such problems for this man, Keke Rosberg. And Derek Warwick spins. He spins the Jaguar at that bottom corner. Oh no, hasn't cost him that much time, but I'm sure it's going to cost him some of that gap he was closing on Keke Rosberg. There's Keke Rosberg. What is the difference? And it's gone back to 17 seconds. Derek Warwick is going to have to start work all over again if he's going to catch this man. But there are dry lines appearing on the track. You can see how Rosberg is using the wet on the straights to cool his tyres. He's taking the dry line in the corners for speed, keeping these hard rain tyres cool. Can he go through to the end of the race on these? And more to the point, can Derek Warwick catch up again now? Rosberg on the wet, moving over onto the dry line under the braking area and into that corner. What a beautifully controlled drive. And Warwick comes in, Derek Warwick comes in. I'm sure he's coming in to change to slicks. That's a surprise. I thought maybe intermediates. He's going on to slicks. He's obviously taking a gamble. He's decided that the dry line is dry enough for those untreaded slick tyres. Now can he catch Keke Rosberg? All eyes are on Derek Warwick this afternoon here in Mexico City. Given the go-ahead to go by Steve Farrell, the car manager. And nothing happens. What is happening? What is the problem with the Jaguar? Absolute silence. Electrical problem, maybe the starter problem. They had a starter problem earlier this year. And yes, mechanics getting under the back of the car. They're going to change that starter motor. What a tragedy. Derek Warwick charging up through the field. Makes a gamble to stop for slick tyres, and the car won't restart at its final stop. And there's the two Peugeots, they're a lap apart. Philippe Alliot in the red street car is in second place. Keke Rosberg behind him in the yellow flash car leading the race. It must be another Peugeot 1-2 unless they can get Derek Warwick back into the race, and at the moment not a lot happening there. First and second, one lap apart, Peugeot and Peugeot. And who will be third? This is the point now. Both Mercedes out. I should imagine Bernd Schneider must have taken third place with John Winter in that year's Porsche. We shall see in a moment. Derek Warwick is still in the pits. Peugeot heading on for what must be their third victory of the season, their second 1-2 in a row. There's the gap between them, it's 100 seconds. But there's no hurry as long as the Peugeot is leading. It doesn't matter where the second Peugeot is in relation to it. Bernd Schneider is third, he's in third place. What a superb swan song for the Porsche 962, probably its last ever competitive race in the World Sports Car Championship, up in this rarefied atmosphere in the Mexican highlands. Great drive by Bernd Schneider and John Winter, and into fourth place comes the Dutch Euro Racing Spice of Cor Oyser and Charles Volsman. That's another good performance for them. 4 times. They will have been fourth this year if they can hold this. There's 4 laps to go. Where is the Jaguar? All eyes. Can it get out in 6th place? It must get out in 6th if it's going to win the World Championship today. They've got the starter fixed. It looks like it. The car's been lowered and it starts immediately. Back out goes Derek Warwick in the XJR14. He's charging out of the pits. He is on slick tyres, remember. The only man in the race now on slicks. But he has lost 6 laps and he rejoins in 6th place. If he can hold this position to the end, he will get those vital points that Jaguar need to win the World Championship today. But the Drivers' Championship is going to still be wide open between Theo Fabi, Derek Warwick, Keke Rosberg, Philippe Alliot and all. Through goes Derek Warwick. On slick tyres, remember, everyone else on wets or intermediates, probably all on wets. Through the Peraltada goes Keke Rosberg for Peugeot. The end of the 98th lap, and he's going to take the checkered flag. There it is, and Peugeot, another famous victory. 2 1-2s in a row. John Todd there of Peugeot, congratulating all his team members. What a fine performance. In comes Rosberg with Schneider following him, confirmed in 3rd place. Great drive for both of these very, very talented men. Keke Rosberg, Yannick Dalmas winning by 1 lap from Alliot and Baldi. Schneider and Winter coming in 4 laps down, and Jaguar finished 6th. They have won the World Sports Car Championship for the 3rd time, but the driver's title is still going to be wide open. There's confirmation. Jaguar from Peugeot, from Mercedes. What a disappointing year for Mercedes. 50 points, 33 behind, 43 behind Jaguar. We asked Keke Rosberg if he thought he'd ever win. Well, it's been a long race, he says. At the beginning, Philippe Alliot gave me a push, I don't know why. After that, we had big understeer in the car, and it made no real sense to fight for the lead. You know, the car wasn't perfect. Yannick Dalmas had a long stint, you know, and we gradually came up step by step. The car got better, the handling improved again. I only know that we passed Alliot and Baldi. I don't know how or where we passed them. We caught them up and we found ourselves in the lead.
Aber der Jaguar kam ohne Zweifel, kam näher und näher und dann ging an die Box, um sich vielleicht doch noch einen Vorteil zu holen mit Slicks. Das ging dann schief, aber es hätte auch anders laufen können.